Come, Nerevar, come. I have decided that the Elder Scrolls universe is too friendly to farm tools, Enwas, and even towards Dunmer. You know what, Nerevar? Let me guide you towards the most intolerant mods in Tamriel's history. Yes, Nerevar. These mods truly honor the Sixth House and the tribe unmourned and propagate my teachings. We start with Morrowind, and Nerevar, it does not require that many mods for you to realize that you are not welcome here, even if you are a Dunmer. If you are an Outlander Enwa, you will be treated as an Outlander Enwa. This is especially true if you visit the Kamona Tong in Balmora, introducing the racist service refusal mod. Why should they serve you if you are a farm tool? Out of all the places that you chose to go, you went to Kamona Tong as an Argonian or a Khajit. Do you have any self-respect? Is this how you honor the Sixth House and the tribe unmourned? Since Morrowind is already the pinnacle of intolerance, let us move on to the fourth installment of the Elder Scrolls series, Oblivion. One of these mods is more tensions between races, and Nerevar, I'll be honest, this makes dispositions among various Enwas in Cyrodiil drop to an all-time low. Farm tools hate farm tools. The Altmer hate the mongrel dogs of the Empire. The Dunmer hate farm tools, but to think of it, everyone hates farm tools, and so on and so forth. Truly it causes mayhem in Cyrodiil that has never been witnessed before. Actual fights will break out between the denizens of the fading Septim Empire, and there will be casualties, Nerevar. No, seriously, this mod comes with a warning. Reworked race relations also adds more chaos to the mix. This mod tweaks the existing vanilla race modifiers, and as a result, the mongrel dogs of the Empire start liking everyone. The farm tools are once again hated on by everyone. The Dunmer hate the Nords and the mongrel dogs of the Empire. The Altmer hate everyone, and everyone hates them. Wait, why are the Dunmer hated by everyone here? This mod does not honor the Sixth House and the tribe unmourned. Racial Feuds and Alliances serves the same purpose as the previous two mods, Nerevar. But once again, everyone hates farm tools, and farm tools hate each other, so everything is balanced as it should be. If you install all the mods together, hate will fill all of Cyrodiil. But this is all for Oblivion. Nothing too impressive, it is all just tweaked numbers. If you are enjoying this sermon, please don't forget to honor the Sixth House and the tribe, unmourned, by subscribing to my sermons, raising your thumbs, and writing on the parchment down below. Now moving on to the most intolerant, hateful, bigoted, and cold place you will ever have the pleasure to visit. That place is not Morrowind. It is actually Skyrim, sweet Nerevar. If you think these Nord Enwas will welcome you with open arms, well, you are truly mistaken. What a grand and intoxicating innocence. The first mod I would like to go over is actually a weapons mod. It is called the Axe of Racism. This mod changes Wuthrad into Axe of Racism, the Briarheart Geist to Lesser Axe of Racism, and adds a unique two-handed ancient Nord battle axe called Ancient Axe of Racism. The former two just rename the weapon and descriptions, while the last one is a new item. This weapon is specifically tailored for people who want to cosplay as the Divine Crusader and go after all elves without realizing that Dunmer are different and a lot more superior. But of course, these thick-skulled Nords do not think with their heads. Speaking of the dishonorable hatred towards the Dunmer exhibited by the Nord barbarians, allow me to introduce you to the Modmore racism in Windhelm, as though the Dunmer in the Grey Quarter did not have enough problems to deal with. Suppose you think that the supposed Windhelm xenophobia is a bit of an informed attribute. In that case, this mod rectifies it somewhat by adding 6 NPCs to Windhelm, who have varying levels of bigotry towards some races. Hriskar is a more straightforward racist, while Alvar is the more faux-benevolent. Why are these people so whiny? 1. Asgald is a bard with a very high opinion of himself. His initial dialogue with the player explains why the xenophobic Elda Early Dawn hired a Dunmer as a bard in her hall. Fenrins is a retired Stormcloak minor officer and Suvaris Atheron's colleague. He is meant as a sort of counterpoint to Solaf from Falkreath. Ringvild Firehair is a noblewoman and a minor quest giver. Gundlar Bloodymace is a bigoted Stormcloak officer in the Palace of the Kings. His injury prevents him from actively fighting. If you win the war for the Imperials, you can find him in the Temple of Talos. Also, the supposedly tolerant Brunwulf is now actually tolerant. He no longer gives his excuse about not letting Argonians wander the streets, and the lizards will wander them if Brunwulf becomes the Jarl. Regardless of who rules the city, scouts many marshes will sneak to the new Gnesis Corner Club at 2 p.m. on the weekday, where he'll discuss racial relationships in the city with Amberus. Rangela, the bookseller, sells some books with different degrees of xenophobia. Non-named Nords, who make use of vanilla xenophobic guard dialogue that was rarely heard in-game. Winning the war for the Stormcloaks will make them stop insulting your Argonian/Khajit/Elvish character. Winning the war for the Imperials will make them stop saying how only loyal Nords are truly welcome in the city, but will, of course, not stop the insults. Defeating Alduin will stop them regardless of your alignment. But wait, do you want to increase the levels of Elda's intolerance? Well, Nerevar, there is a mod just for you. Elda hates the Dark Elves. She is a fool. I am a god. How can you hate a god? How can Elda hate the Dark Elves when she knows so little about them? If you ever catch Susanna the Wicked before she's murdered by the Butcher, you might have heard that quote from her. It gives the player a clear message about Elda Early Dawn, the owner of Candlehearth Hall, the imposing inn at Windhelm. She'll make other commentaries when you are around her, making it clear she does not like the Dunmer at all. Well, Bethesda, if that's her, then why in Oblivion she'd hire a Dunmer bard or let Volsi Girion wander around the inn? This mod aims to change that. Lawfen is now a Nord woman named Britta. Apart from that, the NPC works the same as in vanilla. She uses vanilla assets, so she'll use any skin/body/air replacers you have installed. Volsi Girion now hangs out at the new Gnesis Corner Club. Oh, the lengths these Enwas will go to dislike the Dunmer. Nerevar, but it gets worse for us Dunmer introducing Windhelm Segregation. Stay at new Gnesis Corner Club. Elda Early Dawn hates the Dunmer even more now. So much so that she will ignore the deeds of a Dunmer Dragonborn. You know, the folk hero that is supposed to save the world? She will now decline to rent a room to them. However, the innkeepers at the new Gnesis Corner Club are willing to help out their fellow Dunmer in need of a bed. If you need a place to stay in Windhelm, Amberus Rendar at the new Gnesis Corner Club is willing to rent you the bed upstairs, where Malther Elenil usually sleeps. Niels is not affected, so if something were to happen to Elda and Niels would take over, it will be available to Dark Elves as normal. If Malther has to take over for Amberus, he will continue to offer the bed rental service to Dark Elves, so this should give you a hint that Elda deserves the same fate as Grelad the Kind, for treating us Dunmer like Grelad treats the orphans. There is also the race compatibility dialogue, which increases the tension between characters based on their race. It goes hand in hand with the reputation and barter mods that I will cover in more detail at a later stage. Let me finish off this sermon with the mod people hate vampires. I am an ash vampire and that's different, but those Enwas tainted by Molag Bals deserve all the hate they get. With this, our sermon draws to a close, Nerevar. As always, honor the sixth house and the tribe unmourned. Show approval by raising your thumbs, subscribe to my sermons, and share your thoughts below. I extend gratitude to the Patreons of the Sixth House, Connor Runda, Tonya Davis, Unoriginal Username, Janelle Rambo, Silky Johnson, and Vadim C. for their contributions to my teachings.